crypto. Gonna jump over onto X. Make sure it's working over there. Let's make sure everyone can hear us. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Gonna jump over.
Yep, looks like I can hear us. Let me throw a little GM for good morning. What we say over there on X, and yeah, let's get this party started. Okay, we're rocking and rolling. Markets just opened. Take a quick peek, see what's going on. I don't know. We'll see what happens as the show goes on. It's feeling like a wait and see, feeling like nothing really going on day. Sometimes I get proven wrong. That's fine. Looks like the NASDAQ down about 0.38. Let me refresh that. Yeah, it's still showing futures. Let's click on the actual NASDAQ. Welcome if you're listening live on X or over on YouTube. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Hopefully we can save you a little bit of time, let you know what happened when you were sleeping, what the big news is, what's affecting our bags today. Yeah, NASDAQ down 0.39. A little better than it opened, a little worse than it was looking like it was going to open. Down half a point roughly. Looks like the Dow Jones 0.47 and S&P down a quarter point, down 2.6. Not horrible, nothing to write home about, nothing to get excited about. But let's see how Bitcoin and crypto are taking it. We've got Bitcoin 77,630, down almost 1%. Heinecoin from the Heinecoin community, GM, my brother. Hope you're doing good. Great little community. I always am on there. Well, it's 4:30 my time, 6:30 Eastern time. The Heine community's got a great little space there. If you want to join a great community, they've got their own token. They've got they've got some NFTs, but really what they've got is a good community that is always helping people learn and educating people. So good to see you. Heinecoin in from X, tapping into the GM show. They're always on my GM Bitcoin morning show, which is we're working on our 5th year. But Bitcoin 77,593 right now, down 0.9. Let's call it almost 1%. But yesterday was an epic day, so doesn't totally surprise me. Ethereum 2,322, down a couple hundred points from where it was yesterday, almost exactly, down 3.3%, I guess, for the day, but still doing really good. I remember a few weeks ago it was $1,800. XRP $1.41.6, down 2.4% for the day. Solana 85.81, down 3%. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Let's take a quick peek at the hour chart just to see exactly. Yeah, see 77,887. We're down a little bit. We'll see. You know, this when the bell first opens in the next hour, a lot can change. But anyway, that's what we're at. Let's talk about some news, shape, and events around what's going on. Fear and greed. This is interesting. Fear and greed. We've been talking about this most days. I talk about it most days. We were down in single digits, like stupid, like 4, 6, 8. Extreme fears. Almost about to break the gauge. If you look at it here, talking way to the left is fear, right is greed. So we're a little below half tank now, but massive jump, man, from 32. Don't forget, or if you're new here, we were in extreme fear for 90 plus days. That's it. That's about anywhere. We were going anywhere from like 22 all the way down to like 6. It was crazy. Made no sense. We're in the low teens forever. But what is this telling us? That's what I'm asking myself. What is this signal? What does this mean? I don't have an absolute answer, but obviously sentiment's getting a little bit better. probably people are waking up to the fact that during this conflict, Bitcoin has been the best performing asset. But if you're very unfortunate and your mom and dad named you Peter Schiff, then you're too stupid to realize that. Peter Schiff crawled out of his rock there in Puerto Rico to come out and try and do some more engagement farming, launch really what his purpose was to launch his gold product, his online gold product, right? Or blockchain gold product. But Peter Schiff, those of you that don't know, pretty well-known guy in the TradFi world. He's a gold guy, has a big gold company, been very successful, multimillionaire dude. But what he shared last night, and I've been watching this dipshit since Bitcoin was about $3,000, and argument doesn't change. Bitcoin's a Ponzi. It's going to zero. There's nothing there, whatever, right? But yeah, it's just no new arguments, and I don't even listen. In fact, I said in the past I wouldn't listen to him for an hour for $10,000 because he's saying the same bullshit forever, right? Oh, we're diluted by all these other tokens. Like I can tell you, I got Heinecoin here. I can tell you, Heinecoin has nothing to do with Bitcoin, right, and vice versa. It's a whole different vibe, a whole different use. It's like okay, so Peter, so I don't need gold because I have aluminum. I can make jewelry out of it. I can conduct electricity. All this stupid stuff. You been around for billions of years. All the same stuff you say about gold, I can say about aluminum or tin or iron or whatever, right? It's just a stupid thing. But it comes out yesterday. The first time he heard about it was under $1. Under $1. So you heard about it under $1, didn't like it, didn't make sense to him. Like it didn't to a lot of people back then. I get it. But now, he's it's gone up, 78,000 times since then, and he's still saying it's going to zero. But his latest skit, I don't know why I'm giving this guy the time of day, but just more or less to warn you guys, don't waste your time listening to him. He's got nothing new to say. He's had debates from everybody, gets his ass handed to him every time. He's same thing as his whole thesis is the greater fool theory. The only reason Bitcoin's going up because people think it's going to go up, right? Which could be said of any asset. But when is this guy going to admit that he's wrong? He's been wrong since $1. Dude, at some point you have to say, yeah, I didn't think it's going to work, but it's working. But he still says going to zero. But his latest thing now is that STRC is a Ponzi. That's what he's trying to do. He did debate CZ at this conference they had a few months ago in Dubai. But it's like, dude, get a new argument. Please come back with some new argument. You look like an idiot. But he doesn't care. He's engagement farming. 9,000 people listened to that space last night, right? And he leaves and comes back and whatever and gets people. We used to really get fired up. He used to get a lot of attention. He gets a lot less now, but still, he's engagement farming. He's purely engagement farming. His own son, he says he's never bought it, whatever. Yeah, but that's all right. My wife owns this house. I can't say I've never owned a house, even though it's not in my name. My wife owns stock. I don't own any stock. It's like, come on, guys. And his own son calls him out all the time. But he doesn't believe what he's saying. He won't admit defeat, and he's engagement farming. I would just say, don't give it too much stock. Don't give this guy too much credibility. He's just engagement farming with you. But anyway, too much time on Peter Schiff for sure. But anyway, the U.S. boarded and sanctioned another Iranian oil tanker in the Indo-Pacific, expanding the blockchain far beyond the Gulf. So this is at least the second ship we've got that isn't even anywhere near the Straits of Hormuz. So, they're cracking down on Iran. Meanwhile, I got in some news here. They took over a couple ships themselves. But anyway, back and forth, back and forth. Oh, here it is. The IRC sees 2 container ships in the Straits of Hormuz, the MSC Francisca and the Apodomias, releasing footage of armed personnel boarding both vehicles. Iran says the ships are operating without authorization, tampering with navigation systems. The Eponondius or whatever was struck by gunfire and RPGs before being boarded, sustaining damage to its bridge. Both vessels are now reportedly heading to Bandar Abbas. Crew members are said to be safe. So just back and forth. This is just part of the negotiation, or not. But either way, they've got a few of these little fast boats, which easy targets for a Warthog A-10 or a Apache helicopter. But anyway, they've got a couple of these little boats out there. So what's left of their Navy. But anyway, we will see still if you're a container ship with no arms or army on board, Like, remember the Somali pirates used to take over the ships, so they started putting guys with AR-15s on there. Snipers. Anyway, there you have it. So it's just more theater. But it is what it is. It's definitely not it's why I think today, and listen, we're Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. And then we got the weekend. So yeah, I don't know. We never know, right? We're just on hold. But Trump, like we said yesterday, Trump's going to try and exhaust. I don't think he wants to be dropping bombs again. I think he'd like to figure something out. There is some news, some other news that contradicts all this, that there's some good stuff happening. I'll show you that in a minute. But it is what it is, right? Like I say, look at the data, look at the numbers. Don't worry too much about what the back and forth. But anyway, that's what's going on. Just more of the same. Trump owned American Bitcoin, publicly traded. I believe their ticker symbol is ABC, but I don't remember. I don't know for sure. But nonetheless, bigger mining company just added 11,298 ASICs miners. ASICs miners are, of course, a single circuit chip that just runs the SHA-256 algorithm. So that's they're the ones. They make a lot of noise. They sound kind of like a shop vac, put off a lot of heat. That's why a lot of people are using them. We saw it yesterday. People in the Netherlands growing tulips with them. Some countries heating different things with them. So using excess heat, they do put off a ton of heat. But anyway, it shows they're very bullish on Bitcoin mining. They are now have 89,242 machines. So this is a 12% increase. So shows they're bullish, putting their money where their mouths are. Tesla had earnings come out. They disclosed not selling any of their Bitcoin in Q1, despite the paper losses. So outer space, GM coming over there from X. How you doing? Outer space? Welcome to the stream. Tesla not selling. I wish they'd start buying, but if you're Elon Musk, maybe you just don't care. Maybe, the guy makes $500 million a day. So maybe he just doesn't care. Yeah, outer space. Thank you. Doing very well. Hope you're doing good as well. I don't know. I'm calling for a boring day, maybe a boring weekend. I don't know though. I don't know. I think if we don't get some news by tomorrow, of course, you never know. Trump likes to do stuff on the weekends when the market's closed, so he can kind of wrap it up, adjust the narrative, and we don't get, the market doesn't get affected. Of course, us as Bitcoiners, shitcoiners, degenerates, we get batted about a bunch on the weekends. But hyperscale data, they went a little bigger. They bought another 13.2 Bitcoin. They now hold 663 Bitcoin. Not big scale as far as other, but that's still nothing to sneeze at. And pretty soon, there's now a handful of companies doing this. Pretty soon, it's every company. That's why I say, let's take a quick look over at Bitcoin, see how it's doing on the hourly chart here. Let's see here. What do we got? 77,636. No, I was gonna say I need to refresh. 77,574. So on the hour, that's the daily chart, is it? No, it's the hourly chart. Yeah, going down a little bit. we're now down. Yeah, outer space thoughts on the DeFi side of things. A lot of liquidity either frozen or left out of the ecosystem last 48 hours. Yeah, massive hacks, right? I'm just wondering, yeah, it's not looking good for DeFi right now. Because you got to ask yourself, DeFi, of course, being decentralized finance, you got to ask yourself, you want to take that third-party risk for 5% or whatever, and have them maybe be hacked, maybe lose it? It's a little scary. I think that maybe they're not ready for these hackers using AI and stuff. I don't know, but yeah, I would say I'm my thoughts right now is I'm a little bit skeptical. I'm kind of backed off on a wait and see. Is DeFi going away? No, but they definitely need to. And it's usually the bridges, right? It's almost always the bridges. Bridges have always been the weak point in DeFi. But yeah, I would say DeFi is going to need to regroup a little bit, right? And if nothing else, they've got a little bit of a tarnished image. But yeah, man, hundreds of millions of dollars in hacks only in the last just this year alone. So yeah, I mean, I'm not bearish on it, but yeah, be a little skeptical. Be careful. Not your keys, not your coins, we always say, but yeah, I like DeFi. I like the ability to be able to loan and lend and earn interest and stuff. Right now, yeah, they're a little bit tarnished, man. So we'll keep our eye on it. We'll see what's happening, but definitely a little bit of a lot of hacks, a lot of money lost. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent urges Senate to pass crypto market structure bill. Clarity Act, look, they got to have this. They really, really need this. Outer Space said, I guess all of these negatives happening is net positive in the future in terms of securing blockchain and protecting blockchain as a whole. Absolutely right. They have to fix it. And we know bridges are notoriously not safe. So, we need to have, it's almost like, I don't know if I'd use a bridge. I'd almost switch it to a more trusted centralized exchange to do your swapping and whatever. But hey, it's ongoing. It's the wild, wild west, right? Every now and again, things happen. But yeah, it's not going away. There's too much incentive there. Scott Bessent, anyway, saying that he needs to do it. This is crazy. Have you guys heard these rumors? I don't know. I heard the rumors that him and Elon got in a shoving match, and I heard a rumor a couple of days ago. This guy's funny. He literally lives in a pink mansion, right? And I heard the other day he was going at it with one of the other treasury guys there, financial guys there. Anyway, I don't know if those are true or not. I kind of think they are, though. They kind of sweep them under the rug, but there's now been rumored 2 or 3 times he's kind of got into a shoving match with people in the room. So kind of funny. Dude lives in a pink house and is getting in fights with everyone. But I like this guy, man. One of the smartest minds on Wall Street, right? This guy is freaking smart, man. I really like him a lot. But anyway, listen, the dollar has to have the Clarity Act, has to have it. American Airlines, of course, it's earnings season. I'm not talking too much about earnings unless it's something that significantly affects us. There's kind of more in I really don't care about TradFi, to be honest with you. The only reason I'm here talking about it is because right now it affects crypto. Otherwise, I don't. I literally personally don't own one stock. My wife just got some options to buy a IBIT out 2.5 years, the farthest we could. I think December 15th of 2028. So I bought some. It was already up like 16%. But anyway, American Airlines cut outlook after jet fuel shock. Yeah, of course, this is going to happen. We've heard Europe's got literally weeks of fuel. A lot of people are driving instead of flying. But still, history. Yeah, 15 years ago today, Satoshi Nakamoto sent his final email basically saying, I've moved on to other things. It's in good hands. That's the last we ever heard of him. Literally 15 years ago today, the last communication from Satoshi Nakamoto. So a little bit of history for you there. Never heard about him. Left with his million coins. Hasn't touched him since. You got to think he's got to be dead, right? But who knows? And here's the thing, man. He didn't leave any clues. So in 15 years, there's been nothing. With all the sophisticated AI and all the way to track, he's left no clues for 15 years. That was the last clue, right? And they've analyzed his patterns of when he sent. They think he probably lived in the Midwest, probably in America, just based on patterns when he was posting things like that. But he's left no breadcrumbs in 15 years. And that's part of the reason why we'll probably never know. Holy crap, man. Tom Lee's Bitmine buys another 100,000 ETH worth 233.7 million. This guy is single-handedly throwing ETH on his shoulders and going. Now, he's probably super happy. I've been saying he was down like 12, 15 billion, but he's probably super happy where ETH is now. But yeah, and this is a newly created wallet, but it's linked to Bitmine. So anyway, it's surely them. Who the hell else is buying $234 million worth of freaking Ethereum? But shout out to Tom Lee, man. This man does not stop. 15, 20 billion upside down. He's like, hold my beer. I'll buy another $234 million worth of ETH. So I think he'll do well. I mean, I would, if I could choose to be him or Sailor, I'd rather be Sailor because it's a fixed supply. It's got no competition, yada, yada, yada. But hey, I think he'll do well. U.S. talks in Pakistan may see a breakthrough in preparation tonight or tomorrow. An Iranian diplomatic source says, who knows, right? Who the hell knows? But nonetheless, man, welcome everyone that's listening live. Pornhub switches creator payouts from USDT to USDC. Pornhub has replaced USDT with USDC for creator payouts, according to a circulating email, citing improved payment reliability and describing USDC as a MiCA compliant. USDT is no longer listed as a payout. So if you are a Pornhub creator, you're now getting paid in USDC. Now, for us as investors, you can invest in the company. I believe it's Circle, right, that owns USDC. It is compliant. It's going to be more well adopted in the US, Europe, all this stuff. MiCA, of course, MiCA is the European standard. So also in US as well, it's US compliant. So, maybe stable coins are extremely profitable. Yeah, probably most of us on here are not Pornhub creators. But look at it as a pattern to see that they're wanting to use one that's more compliant. So we do see USDC taking a lot of market share from Tether. But that's, Tether's still, magnitudes bigger. But anyway, little Pornhub news this morning. Sweden's H100 group, AB, signed a binding deal to raise its Bitcoin holdings to 3,500 from 1,051. Smart money's buying. There's only a few of these companies now. Pretty soon it's every company, right? This is how it goes to 1 million, 2 million, 10 million. Swedish company. BlackRock clients yesterday snapped up 246,860. So that's how much inflows BlackRock single IBIT beat. That's good. That my wife's leaps or long 2.5 year out option to buy IBIT at $40, I think, jumped 15% yesterday on a big pump. But so that means that anywhere in the between now and December 15th of 2028, she can buy IBIT at 2 week ago's price. So just an option. I just thought it would be fun to try it out. Opened a Robinhood account. We'll see. Already up 15%, but I'm hoping Bitcoin goes to 500,000 and then hope IBIT goes to 500,000. She'll be able to buy them, exercise them for $50. Probably should just buy Bitcoin, but it's just something I wanted to try. SoftBank is seeking $10 billion margin loan backed by its OpenAI shares to fund its big AI push per Bloomberg. So AI, man, another area we need to keep an eye on, another area to make some money on a kind of a flat Tuesday. Okay, now Iran just said they're going to charge tolls on everything going through there, blah, blah, blah. So back and forth. So anyone that's sanctioning Iran, so they're back saying they're going to charge tolls in America. You know, Trump said we're clearly in control of the straits, but obviously they could have blasted those little boats yesterday. They chose not to. Trying to see, you know, the ceasefire's held. Now it's been extended. So we'll see what happens. But Trump didn't seem to care that they seized these container ships. Once again, just part of the negotiation. We'll see where it ends, though. We'll see where it ends. Morgan Stanley, the newest Bitcoin ETF, brought in 11.3 million yesterday, 13th straight day. So that's good. Another massive company with 17,000 financial analysts saying they want to be the biggest place to buy and sell Ethereum and Bitcoin, so, and crypto. So mainly, I think now they're focusing on that. Gas prices above $4 gallon. Not good. I'm about to do a road trip, so I'll be paying, especially since I'm going to California, I'll probably be paying $8 for my diesel fuel for my truck. We shall see. We shall see. Initial jobless claims, 214,000, slightly above the 212,000 expected. Now, this might not be, you know, there's more unemployed. The silver lining to this is the Fed has a dual mandate, full employment and keep inflation low. So actually, this could be fuel for the Fed to raise money. We're losing too many jobs. So bad news becomes good news in this instance, but it's minuscule nonetheless. Wall Street is hiring for crypto. Quietly, BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley recruiting institutional exposure. Rising markets still down. So basically, they're hiring crypto people. We've talked about a few of those job offers, paying good money too. They're wanting to get people to focus on this institutional money. Jack Dorsey next week, April 27th through 29th, Bitcoin conference next week. Jack Dorsey set to speak, as is Kash Patel. I think Michael Saylor, I think Jack Mahler, a few people. I was looking at it, but yeah, this just announced Jack Dorsey. I'm going to be there. I just got to decide. I'm 50-50 right now if I'm going to go or not. I'm pissed I didn't get my last year at the end of them. They're giving tickets away for free. Now they're like $600-700. Just pissed at myself for not just taking 2 minutes and getting the free tickets while it was still going on. Then they're $50, $100, and they wind up being $700-800 if you pay at the door. But anyway, a little pissed at myself for not getting my tickets early. But anyway, yeah, I may or may not go. It's during this time you say, should I go or should I take all that money I'd spend and buy more Bitcoin? But anyway, there you have it. My prediction is nothing major is going to happen. Let's take a quick look at Wall Street. Oh, actually, it's 8:01. Better just take a quick look at Bitcoin and call it a day so we can jump on the Bitcoin GM morning show. Let's refresh this. Let's see where we're at. Pull up the hourly chart. 77,507 off the lows, still down 1.6% for the day. We'll see everyone tomorrow, Friday. Thanks for joining me live here, or if you're listening on the recording or the podcast. Appreciate everybody. Have a good Thursday. I don't think we're going to see much happen, but we will find out. Yep, Heinecoin's right. DeFi is losing credibility and confidence. How the hacks exploits death by 1,000 paper cuts. Definitely, they're going to have to come in and do something.